Well, I'm going to show you how I start doing editing for the church and for the school. So let me show you here what I've got. I'm going to go to my unedited clips. Now I'm going to come in here and I am going to start a new project. Alright, so how I made it go into a small box up at the top here, so now I can have the two videos playing at the same time. FX, I can go to transform. I pulled that down and just dropped it over this box. And I went into the settings here, changed the position, and I dropped the scale down to 0.3. But wait a minute. I am filming me editing an edit of me filming. This is my editing program that I like using. It's Lightworks. All right, I'm going to name this slide create. And I'm going to show a few different things that we can do to this video. So now I'm going to go back into here. I want to pull the video and the audio. And I'm going to pull both of these in. I'm going to pull the audio separated one onto a different slide. So here, these I can use to match it up. Like you can see, this is the dot here. These are the dots. So this I can use as like a visual sync. And if anything is starting to get out of sync, I can always come in here, press C, and that cuts to a new slide. So this has made a slice. And then I can zoom in pretty far and I can grab this one and slide it over ever so slightly to start realigning things. All right, now next thing I'm going to do is I want to speed all of this up. So I'm going to show you how to do a time lapse pretty easily. Let me see where I want it to start. Right there is about good. And then I want him right about there. So you have to be unhighlighted. Go here, click speed, and let's try doing 10 times the speed. So I'm just going to add a 0, press enter, and now I can apply it. This I would have to is a completely separate video. So these two are linked together. So I can do the same thing with this one. So I should be able to go to speed, 0, enter, apply. There we go. Now, here it goes, and now just to kind of clean things up, I'm going to come to the very beginning here, and this, I'm going to switch over to audio, and I can just drag this over, and this makes sure that the volume fades in, and I can come over here to the end and do the exact same thing on the other side and make sure that the audio fades out. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and put a dissolve at the end. And that is fading very slow. I am going to, let me get this dissolve out. And let's shrink that down and put that back on. All right, one last thing I am going to do is I'm going to show you putting a title into here. I'm going to add one at the end. So the reason I'm pulling it off like this is sometimes it really does try to stick and move everything all at once, which can be nice if you're trying to work with stuff. But if I link it up, then it's going to try to move all of them. So sometimes it's easier just to work with that. All right. So for this title, let's go ahead and play around with a little bit here. All right, and then I'm going to show you messing with the colors a little bit. So instead of flat color, you can go vertical gradient, which will just give you kind of two colors. I'm going to go with sheen, which is going to have a color on the top and the bottom, and the second color is going to change in the middle. So let's go ahead and drag this up. And let's drag this over. All right, looking nice. And that should fade, and the letters should stay. I actually want the letters to stick past a little bit. To export, you can right-click anywhere on any of the slides here, and I can go to Export, MP4, and this is very important, choose Ignore Leading or Trailing Black. So that way all of this at the end is not added to your video. I'm going to name it and start. And I can keep working on stuff. This will keep working in the background when it's done. There we go. So now let's open that up and see how that looks. All right. Looks decent for something done in just a few minutes. Of course, you can play around with it and you can see how working with the video editing, you can get lost for hours working on this kind of stuff. So edit responsibly. Honey, I'm home.
Have you been out editing again?
No.